Hey yo, what's the deal? It's Good Friday. We're a little late for real, but that's all right. Trust me, it's okay. We got an ill presentation for you today. Miss Kimbaley Williams, manifest on purpose. Understand, she'll turn you, make you feel worthwhile, not worthless. You see, two Scorpio risings presented for you tonight, B. Resurrection Sunday's near, but tonight, Good Friday's in your ear. Numerology, Astro-Numerologist. Don't you understand? She's deeper than a psychologist. Yeah, you manifest with the numbers 1 through 9. There's no slumber. And I am number 9, life path. So hopefully you can just do the math. He complete spits bars. Can't you see? Mars is the chart ruler for both of us, B. So you know it's time to have some fun. Episode 328. Let's break it down, hun. Knowledge is love, flying and soaring. Lyrically on the mic, always warring to inspire your ears, you know, so you can investigate the truth for yourself, yo. I think it's time. Start the show. Here's the rhyme. Now, let's introduce what you see. Miss Kimbaley Williams is down with me. Ooh, ooh! What's up, y'all? Knowledge is love. Eric Taylor. Excuse me.
That's incomplete.
Oh, yeah, incomplete too, right? This is episode 328 of my Knowledge is Love Astrology podcast. And tonight I have a brilliant astro-numerologist. She, oh my God, has an amazing podcast. You have to go follow her YouTube channel, Kimbaley, where I was a guest talking about numerology. And I present to you my Scorpio rising sister, Miss Kimbaley Williams. Welcome to the show, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you so much for having me. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, this is great. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Kimbaley's got a lot to share with us tonight, and a lot of it is kind of going to be targeted to me. I decided to offer up myself because it's a little different from the business, but I wanted to show the range because Kimbaley helps so many people with her business, with her numerology insight for business. So explain, like, what made you want to get into numerology, Kimbaley? Because I think that's a fascinating way to start off.
I picked up my first numerology book at 16. I don't know why. I was interested in it, and it was like a little difficult for me to learn at the time. I didn't quite understand it, and I didn't have a teacher. And where I grew up at, that was something that we did not talk a lot about. The ancient sciences of astrology or numerology. So I had no one to talk to about it. But as the years went on, I started to see numbers a little bit more, and I started to see significant patterns in my life. And in particular, there was one July 4th that I moved away from my hometown to another city completely.
Okay.
And I found myself exactly 7 years later on July 4th, about the same time of day, traveling on that same highway in that same stretch of the road. And I happened to be listening to YouTube at the time, and there was a brother on talking about the number 4, and that was Brother King Simon. Some of you may know him.
Really?
And I kept thinking, because I'm like, this sounds a lot like me. A 4. And so in time, listening to his channel, I started learning about Astro-Numerologist Lloyd Strayhorn and started listening to him.
Yeah.
And numerology became so much more simple to me. And I did find out that I am a 4. So from that, I just had the hunger and thirst for numerology, but that's also the case with astrology too.
Yeah. Well, that is so fascinating. Actually, Kimberly and I have talked, but I've never heard that story, and I had no idea of that. That is so fascinating. So, okay, we got to dive in, and we're going to get to everybody in the chat. Kimberly's going to answer your questions, and she's going to tell you she's got a special offer for you guys, all that stuff. But Miss Kimberly, like me, is a Scorpio rising. If you were listening to the freestyle rhyme, that's what I was saying. But she's a Leo sun and moon in the 10th house. So that's why your podcast is doing so well and growing. And I think I have not yet to meet, and hopefully I'm going to connect with the brother King Simon soon, but I know he's brilliant. And of course, Baba Lloyd Strayhorn is just the creme de la creme, friend to both of us. And we both have had, amazing blessings working with him and calling him a friend and colleague. So for you, having that sun and moon in Leo, how do you feel it shows up in your life, even with your public image on your Manifest with Purpose podcast?
Well, if you think about it, if you look at my chart, because my MC is also in Leo, and I have 5 planets in the 10th house that are ruled by Leo. So I feel 100% Leo. If anybody can say that they're a Leo, I think I'm official. And according to my numbers, because I'm born on the 4th of the month, the 4 is interchangeable with the number 1, which is ruled by Leo.
Oh
So
my gosh.
Leo is like,
That's
very,
your wheelhouse, huh?
yeah. And I never see it. I never feel like I'm being Leo, but sometimes I can look back and be like, yeah, that was a little Leo.
Well, you know what I will definitely say? Leo women are guilty of giving the warmest hugs. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I think I told you that when we did your astrology reading a while back. Because Leo women, man, there's this warmth that comes from that heart chakra, right? And then out in 10th house for the career, midheaven, and public image and legacy, it's like, hey, just go out there and shine from your heart. And that's what I love. Kimberly is so pure, you guys. Scorpio risings are very pure, but we like to investigate the truth. So, were you like, what was it though that made you start to, and did you take classes with Lloyd or King Simon? Like, what made you want to investigate the occult sciences even deeper to then become this astro-numerologist?
Well, one thing is that I also have a degree in metaphysical sciences.
Oh,
And for me, it's not about wanting to know everything. I want to know why is everything the way that it is.
I love it.
So from the time I was little up until now, I've always wanted to know the deeper meaning. And with numerology, since I've been learning and studying astronumerology, and I studied with Lloyd, since I've been learning and studying astronumerology, when I see people, I don't ask people what your birthday is. I want to figure it out by their expressions and what they do. It's like I like to dig deep within to see what, the truth really is.
I love that. That's very Scorpio rising of you, by the way. And you're a natural empath, you know what I mean? And that's the thing that people don't really get, because everybody thinks, oh, Scorpio rising, mysterious and kind of like, powerful and secretive and all this. But one thing that's really true about Scorpio risings, we have an intense journey, but we're here to break generational curses. But for us, we're truth seekers and truth speakers. And I think, the occult knowledge is a way to bring out, right, a lot of hidden information so that we better can learn the truths for our lives, like manifestation, like connecting things with your business. Now, do you also help people? And I want you to get to the chat and just read, say hello to everybody and read some comments. But do you also help people with, in your numerology readings, besides business, do you help with doing, let's say, like families or relationships? If people looking for a love match or a couple, explain the different services you do.
Well, I don't do love matches in couples because you can get in trouble with that.
Okay.
I stay away from the love matches. I don't do that,
Okay.
but I do read people. I do read people in general,
Okay.
but my favorite thing to do is the business readings because
Yeah.
from the time I was young, I've always had this mindset for business. And
Okay.
so when I see a person and I hear them tell me about their business, already my mind is like going crazy, like ideas are popping up. And so that's what interests me more than anything. But yeah, I do help people using their numerology and help them figure out things that they're going through based upon their numbers or the frequencies that they are guided by.
I love that. I am very I know very like un poquito. I know a little bit about numerology. I don't want to ever say I'm an expert like you or King Simon or Lloyd. I know enough to be a little dangerous, but it is so fascinating, and I love the connection of astrology and numerology. So let's go to the chat. You want to see who's here and say hello to the good people?
Yes, yes. I'll start from the beginning. This is Quintella.
Hey,
She
Quintella.
says, "Good evening." No, grand evening, Eric and Kimberly, and the Knowledge is Love Astrology Podcast family. Peace, unconditional love, and light. Peace, unconditional love, and light to you too,
Oh,
Quintella.
Quintella's awesome. Yeah. Okay.
Chantel says, "Greetings, everyone. Greetings, Chantel."
Hey, Chantel. Very good.
Empress Ebony's Tarot says, "Hello, hello, hey, hello.
All
Hope
right.
all is well within. Thank
Good
you."
Friday to all you guys. Empress.
Gigi says, "Hey, family." Hey, Gigi.
Hey Gigi, how you feeling?
Empress Ebony's Tarot said, "Hand pink waving."
Okay.
Phoenix. Phoenix says, "Hi, Biggie and Kimberly. Hello from Tennessee.
All
Were
right.
you a four life path, Miss Kimberly?" I love Tennessee, but I'm a four birthday number. I'm actually an 11 life path.
Oh, so I'm a 9 and you're 11. So
Ooh,
that sets up for like just a deep night of fun, right? Right there.
that's a lot.
Okay.
Gigi says that is so true. Leo women give the best hugs. What a beautiful story, Kimberly. Thank you, Gigi.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm intentional about that too. I'm one of the ones that has to rub it in the back with the hugs.
I love that. But it's really true. And that's the one thing I will tell people, that Leo Aquarius access, that opposition, both Leos and Aquarius are so authentically themselves. And with Leos, when they're on, because whether it's Leo, Virgo like me, Aquarius, whatever sign, when they're on the low vibration, for all signs, they can be pretty messy. But
Yeah.
when a Leo's on a high vibration and heart centered and the heart chakra's open, whoa, they can like break down any wall with a smile and their heart and their hugs and their love. I mean, it is like they literally shine bright. I see my Leo sons every morning, and they are like little lion cubs since they were babies. They would wake up with the sun and jump on the furniture. And whenever they go shopping with us, or just my wife in the stores, like they were celebrities at Costco when they were little babies. Because they were just today, everybody in the car, hi, hi, like these little cute little twins, hi. And like, people would just like, oh my God, like, people be serious and also they're like, hi, and they smile. And Leos, they bring that out of you. Like you guys have a warmth, and it radiates out. You know what I mean? It's very powerful. So yes, you're so right about that, and the hugs and everything. So let's get to, well, also maybe we could say it now and then again at the end. Tell everybody your website, but also let the audience know you have a special offer for my audience, for them. Now I wanted to ask you real quick. as you present that and share your website and all that, with you, if I'm coming to you for my business, is it like if I want to launch my business, can you also help people select the date? Or is it if they already have a business and then you do like a whole breakdown? Or do you do both?
It depends on the person and what they're seeking.
Okay.
And that's why I'm going to be offering a small consultation, maybe 30 minutes for someone who may want to have a call to see, to talk to me about where they are in their business or get a better understanding of what business astronumerology is
Okay.
so that they can. So that they can find out what they would need or what step to take next, because there's so many places that you can start. Some people just have the idea, and at that point I think about conception versus incorporation date, because a
Ooh,
lot of people what you base your business on a lot is your date of birth for the business, because what I like to say is your business has a birthday too.
that's
So
right.
just like you have a birthday, your business has a birthday. Your birthday is the day you were born, and that's written on your birth certificate or printed on your birth certificate. So your incorporation date is the date that your business became official. And that's when your business has its birth certificate. However, the conception date comes before that,
Yeah.
because this was an idea. And what made me think of it this way is I thought about people, humans.
Yeah.
You have a conception date, and then you have a date when the baby is actually born.
I love that.
So there's a time that you actually think about this idea of the business, which becomes your intention for that business.
Yep.
So that number makes a difference too. And
I
for
bet it
some
does.
people, yeah, and for some people, they never even get an incorporation date. So they can still go by that conception date, and it will pretty much be the same.
I love that because businesses, when you are an entrepreneur and you're starting your own, it's born in your head and your heart. And I think in some ways that can be just as important or even more important than when you file for your S Corp or LLC or anything like that. So that's really beautiful, helpful information. So tell them the website and how they can reach out and get this free consultation with you so then they could potentially move forward with Kimberly.
The website is Kimbaley, KIMBALEY.com. And you can go to that site, and it will be under social media consult, because I haven't set up that one, but it's the same kind of service.
Okay.
But under social media consult, you can set it up, and I'll be getting the official link for that. Perhaps tonight, but you can go there and click that social media console, and we can sit down and we can have a 30-minute talk. I can let you know a little bit more about what business astronumerology is, and I can find out where you are in your business, because whether you're just starting your business or you've been in business for a while and you see that things are stagnant and you want to see how you can align your business with success, because that's the
Ooh.
whole purpose of using astronumerology for your business, so you can align your business with success. And I can tell you what may be helpful for you.
I love that because all right, we're going to get to the presentation because she's going to be helping me for success, E-Complete, with my third album, God Told Me to Tell You. But Kimberly may be recommending some pretty major changes for me. And so we'll just have to wait and see. So you want to share, and then I will bring up your screens and we can get this going because I'm so excited. And you do a lot of stuff, even with the numbers and stuff and colors and everything for people, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now, which one do you want to share first? I see.
Oh, let's play the music first.
Okay.
Before we get started, let's hear a little bit from E-Complete.
Okay. Let's see what we got here. Hold on. I think I see the. Oh, here it is. Okay.
Okay. I want Grammy bars, you heard? You want the bars to be a little bit angry?
All right, you guys. This was legitimately a freestyle. It sounds like a written rhyme.
Crazy killer.
And the singer is Felicia Taylor.
Oh, I feel that soul.
The producer is DJ Crazy Killer, now DJ Unity.
I'm a soulful brother. Me too, brother. Gotta ride with it for a second. Come on, man, spit that truth. You know what I'm saying? Go in, son. Go in. Sometimes productions get ripped. I want you to understand I love to ego trip. And lyrically I flip. I am the microchip. I want you to know that I got on the ship. I snuck aboard. They tried to leave this planet. I told them, don't you understand I was granted? Solid. I am deeper than the sand. Deeper than a man. Wrapped in saran. I know your freaking plan. You study the planets. You try to poison us. You know I can't stand it. Damn it. I don't even mean to say it. But I want you to know the truth. I will spray it. I see what you do. Your secret societies. Don't you understand? You try to be pious me. You lie to me. You lie to everyone. It doesn't matter. The network, the media is dumb. The TV lies, supplies. The government lies, supplies. Cooking up these FDA pies. Drugs, fentanyl, killing all these people. Don't you understand? They don't think we're equal. They're gonna disappear into the mountains of West Virginia. Or maybe go to Mars. They're the winners. No, they're the losers. Their soul is dirty. Don't you understand? You know I'm kind of flirty. I see her skirty me. But it's not time for that. I love these girls, but I'm all about that. The one, the wife, the missus. You see, Alana Christine Taylor, she's riding with me on the road to recovery. Been riding so real, you know and understand that it's more than a deal. I give you the meal, I give you all I got. Every shot I drop, I am hip hop. The last verse will be when I die, and I have multiplied. My kids are fly. Don't you understand, son? I'm one of the best. From east to west, I rep on my chest. The center of the country, you know it's Eric. Don't you understand? I remember Bo Derek. When I was a shorty, I was watching 10, and I was like, oh my God, rewind that again. From the VCR to the DVD, to the CD, to the MP3, to the iPod, to whatever it be. I remember cassette tapes when they eat them up deep. And lyrically, you see, you can't mess with me. The poetry so heavenly, they potent BB. Yo, what's this? The alphabetic flow. You know the Z is the end of the show, but I am the E, known as the fifth letter, the lyrical go-getter, the former bedwetter. I don't give a, I just tell you the truth. Chip my tooth when Reagan was in proof. The day of the inauguration, me and my friends on the bus were like saying, we know that he's gonna mess things up, you know. I don't wanna even say what we did, bro, but that's alright. Those are private school days, but public school is where I went through the maze. I studied the craze, I studied the grays. When I started to focus, I got all A's. Like Babe Ruth had some black inside his blood. I want you to know that I'm sharp like a stud. Missile, I just dish you. Bone bristle, the tissue will miss you. Yo, what you miss is the E, cause at University of Maryland I tore it up, B. Me and Cannabis rhyming, styling, freestyling, and my boy Nate smiling, my boy O'Haney. I miss you, B. You can.
Wow.
Yay.
Okay. I like that. You know, I never played that live on my show, and I hope the audience enjoyed that. So let's see now. We're gonna bring up and tell everybody what you got going on here.
Okay, so this is the Astro-Numerology Business Analysis for E-Complete, and the album is God told me to tell you. And before I get started, I want to ask you, Eric, what what was your inspiration behind this particular album?
Well, I I feel like the name came to me in 20, I want to say 2017, 2018, and I didn't know why. And I thought it was kind of long and wonky, but I'm very obedient when I get a message from source, from God, right? And so I was like, okay, God told me to tell you. And I'm like, I'm a real spiritual guy, God fearing, deep water faith. And I was like, okay. But then obviously, most of you guys know my story. In 2021, September 6th, I fell into coma for 40 days and I was in a hospital for 85 days and nearly died of COVID, the Delta, and a little bit of mixture of the Valley fever. And so after being on the other side in other dimensions in the spiritual realm, and really going through the dark night of the soul, spiritual warfare. It was a very dark NDE experience. I realized, oh, now I know what God wants me to tell the crowd and everything. So this song will be on the album, but I have not yet recorded it yet, and it will be probably released in 2026. And I figured that this would be a great way to show Kimberly's range, not just looking at a business, but a business as a musical artist, and that she may, for me, may recommend some changes, and you'll share that with the audience in terms of, what I may need to adjust that it lines up for my numerology to make this maybe my most successful album. My first album was Hip Hop Forever. My second was True Speaker. And because of different situations and life changes, I was never able to promote either one of them the way that I wanted. But my first album, Hip Hop Forever, it's like a little underground classic. And I had a website, ecompletemusic.com, which I no longer have, and I kind of put down the music as like a career. But back then when I was acting and writing and rhyming, I was very serious about it. But then my mother got sick of brain cancer in 2004. And I released the first album in 2006. But because of taking care of my mother, and I was doing it by myself, I wasn't married yet and wasn't getting help from the rest of my family, I was not able to go out and perform and go to different shows. I did little things here and there, but not the way that I wanted to. But I was able to sell on my website, and those are the MySpace days. So through MySpace, I was able to connect with people, and I actually, had decent sales just hand to hand. I mean, I actually had people from Indiana. I remember someone from Germany, different people purchased my album, Hip Hop Forever. So, and then I sold it on iTunes. So on iTunes, I sold the album as well as put up my first and only music video, which is an animated video, which I should have shared that with you so you could show that. But it's really cool. And it's here on this channel and my eComplete channel on YouTube. And so that's kind of the gist and the story. Yeah, I'm hoping to start recording maybe towards the end of this year and then really in 2026 and release the album in 2026. And I will I will implement a lot of what you suggest to me here tonight. So, Lord, the floor is yours.
That's a pretty interesting story.
Thank you. Yeah, but the clarity was so clear. Because I'll tell you a funny little thing. After I awakened, even in the hospital, I mean, if you guys get a little glimpse and you know me from Coffee Talks or just watching the show or podcast, like Eric is Eric everywhere, right? So imagine me in the hospital bed, like barely getting my voice box, coming out of coma. And, within a few days, I'm doing astrology readings for the nurses and I'm kicking rhymes. But the first time one of the nurses asked me, and I was going to kick one of my rhymes, Kimberly, it almost broke my heart. I could not remember all my lyrics and started to actually tear up. I was getting ready to cry. And it was a male nurse. I remember his name was Jeremy. And he said, no, Mr. Taylor, please. you're going to be okay. And you're going to remember you just woke up out of coma for 40 days. This was like the third or fourth day. You know what I mean? I'm just waking up. I just got a little voice thing. And he said, it's going to take time, but I promise you it will come back. And, you know, it's kind of a miracle, not only that I'm alive, but being in coma for 40 days, the fact that I didn't lose any brain function, I didn't lose my memory. And a few days later, I called him back in the room. I said, Jeremy, come here. And he said, what's up? And I said, are you ready? And he said, what? And I said, I'm going to spit this rhyme for you. And it was from my first album. I think it was either Heart and Soul, or it may have been My Mission or something. And he was like, wow, you're really good. And I said, thank you, man. And then I was just so happy. I was like, oh, thank you, God, that I could remember my own rhymes, because, you know, that was just really scary for me and hard. It was just a hard time. So.
Wow, that's an amazing story. And that does sound like a miracle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want me to continue with the chat?
Yeah. Well, no, I want you to go into, you know, the slide and what you, I mean, if you want to check in with the chat, you can and see what they're saying, but then maybe you can talk about, you know, the different things that you want to recommend for me that I need to do and change and all that stuff. But you could check in with the chat. Yeah.
Okay. Phoenix says, very Scorpio rising, the great detective and psychologist.
Thank you.
Somebody used to say that about me.
Yeah.
MGM Forever says, peace, Biggie and Miss Kimbaley. Peace, MGM Forever.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome to the show. I think you're new. Hopefully, please subscribe. And you guys go follow Kimbaley. She told you how to spell it, Kimbaley on YouTube, please.
Katie Foxdrum says, good evening. Good evening, Katie.
Hey, Katie.
Mark Matthews says, peace, Biggie and Miss Kimbaley. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah.
Peace. Sabale Pure, is that Alana? She
Yeah.
says, hello, everyone. I can't wait to learn tonight. Okay. Hi, Alana. Ella, happy Good Friday.
Yes, happy Good Friday to you. Any comments on the song? I want to know if people like the song, my bars.
Oh, you know the bars were fire. You know we liked it. Ella says, happy Good Friday. Oh, we said that. Yeah. Teresa Miller says, bright greetings and peace, Eric, Miss Kimbaley and family. Peace, bright greetings,
Teresa.
Phoenix says, what is your soul number, or will you share your numerology with the family? I'm born on the 22nd of August. And you're welcome. I'm glad to be here. Sabale Pure says, I'm a 3 life path and I'm born on the 26th. Does that mean I'm a 26 or do I reduce it to an 8? You're a 26, but it does reduce down to an 8.
Yeah, that 8, yeah.
Oh, that big 8. Numbers of you. Lloyd says, hi to Biggie and Miss Kimbaley.
Oh, Lloyd is in the chat. Oh, my God. I just made my day. Hello, Mr. Lloyd. We were talking about you earlier, sir.
Amanda Lee.
Hello,
I just had a little Leo on the first. Oh. Phoenix says, Sabale Pure, you always reduce your numbers and you can study both numbers to see what they mean.
Yeah.
Thank you, Phoenix.
Yeah.
Amanda says she loves all her kids. All my kids have Leo and my son progressed Leo. Wow, that's a lot of Leo energy.
Okay.
How do you determine what business would be best for you and based on what? You can look at your life path and see what your life path is going to tell you what your purpose is in this life, what you're here to do from the time you're born until the time that you go. And your birthday number will also give you a clue as to what you would be great at. Jackie says, hi, Biggie and Kimbaley. Hi, Jackie.
Hey, Jackie. Is that Jackie Washington?
Yes.
That's my girl, Jackie Washington. You gotta say it like Coming to America. That's Jackie Washington. I love that. I love Jackie. She's so sweet. Thank you, Jackie. A good Friday to everybody.
Okay. You want me to keep going or start?
Yeah, no, go ahead and start.
Okay.
We'll get back to the chat.
Okay, so first thing I'm going to talk about is what business astronumerology is
Okay.
and why you should be using it.
Mm.
So, what business astronumerology is using a combination of the ancient sciences of numerology and astrology to align your business with success. As I talked about earlier, we all have a birthday number. And if we align with our birthday number and we align with our stars and planets, then we set ourselves up for a good life, or we work towards our purpose. And so the next question is, why should you be using astronumerology for your business? And you should be using astronumerology for your business to ensure that your business is flowing in the perfect vibration, balance, and harmony with this unique mission and purpose. Sometimes you can create a business and you may feel stagnant in that business. That business may not feel like it's going anywhere. And it may just simply be that you are not aligned with your business, or your business is not aligned with your purpose. I just answered the question about one of the ways that you can determine a great business to start is, using your life's purpose, your life path. So what if your life path or your birthday number is telling you that one type of business is good for you? However, you're jumping into something that really is not the best thing for you. It's going to make it more difficult for you things to flow or operate the way that you want them to in your business.
That
So
makes so much sense.
yeah. So when you set these things, set the numbers up in a way that balances them and harnesses the power for you to move forward and the power for you to succeed. So there's many things in your business that you can use the numerology for, and we're going to talk about some of those things today as I move forward. Any questions, Eric?
No, I love this. This is so, I mean, listen, you this is why I got you on, right? Because you're sharing the knowledge, and you're gonna get everybody ready and how to rock and roll with it. So thank you. Keep going. I love it.
Oh, you're welcome. And so the first thing that I did was, I'm going to say that I used Eric as a personal brand. And the reason why I chose to name his business as a personal brand is because he is the face of his business, because he's an artist. It's kind of like Oprah. When you see Oprah, she's just Oprah. That's who she is, and that's who her that's really her business.
Right.
Oprah Winfrey. And this is the same thing with Eric. So I kept your birthday out. So the first thing that I'm doing for Eric is one of the first things that people should do who has already started a business, and that is get a personal business astronumerology report done. And I did that here for Eric. I didn't disclose everything here because I'm not sure if he wanted all his information up here. I didn't put.
Well, no, I don't mind telling him. I'm a Virgo, September 10th. Yeah.
Okay. And so his birthday name, this is one of the things we're going to talk about, naming your business. We're going to get to that a little bit later. But his name is E-Complete because that's his stage name. That's his performance name. Yeah. That's the name that we're going to use. And so let me just get closer so I can read it. So the first thing I do is I let him know what the best numbers for his business is. This means what numbers are good for him to plan things on. And these flow in accordance with his key numbers. And because we're using Eric as the brand, we will use his birthday number as the incorporation date because he became Eric on his incorporation date. So based upon his birthday number, his key numbers are the 1, 4, and 5 because he's born on September the 10th.
Okay.
So I'm letting him know that the business significant number, meaning that the days that you should use to sign documents, handle any important business decisions, contracts, launch any products, or do any interviews or anything, it's going to be on a day that adds to the number 1, the number 4, or the number 5, because those are the key numbers for his business. And because he is his business, he's already aligned with that because those are his birth numbers anyway. The 1, the 4, and the 5. So if you would want to release something, one of the best times you can do it is on the 1st of the month or the 10th of the month.
Okay.
And what I would say here is the 28th. 2 plus 8 equals 10,
Right.
which goes down to 1. But what I would say is avoid the number 28 because that number is the number of contradiction. So you can be taken advantage of using a number like the number 28. So you have to be aware of what contracts you sign, who you're trusting your business with or information with on the 28th. So I would just stick to the other days that add up to a 1, like the 1st, the 10th, or the 19th of the month.
Okay. I was going to ask, what about the 19th? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 19th is good. Okay. So your business also has significant days according to your key numbers. Your key numbers 1, 4, and 5 makes your significant days for your business and for yourself on Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday. And it's going to be in that order. So I like to stack things so that it'll flow better. So really, if you release something on a Sunday the 1st or a Sunday the 10th, that's a double dose right there. So
Are you
that's
trying to say that's mo better?
more better.
So wait, so then, okay, I'm glad Lloyd's here. So then instead of me doing podcasts on Tuesday and Thursday, I'll just have to come on Monday and Wednesday nights right after Lloyd. So it's back to back, brother to brother.
Those are your days.
8 p.m. Eastern, Lloyd. I'm going to have to start coming on. And I used to actually do that before I even met Lloyd. I used to do mainly Mondays and Wednesdays. But I, out of respect for Lloyd, I was switching because, some of his people like to come over to me. But I realized, well, maybe I just start at 8 or 8:30. And then his people to watch Lloyd, they can come on over to BigEAstro, So it's like a double dose of fun. Watch Lloyd and then come watch BigEAstro. So maybe I'll get back to Monday or Wednesdays. And then Sunday, I like to do Sunday night. And I'm actually doing a show this Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern on Resurrection Sunday, Easter Sunday. So that's awesome.
Yeah. And my numbers are the 4, 1, and 5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So pretty much the same. Okay.
Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday too. Yeah.
Okay.
So your business also has significant months that stand out for you.
Okay.
And so February, June, August, and September. And just like we have numbers that are favorable to us, your business has numbers that are not the friendliest to you.
Okay.
And we're not going to say that they're bad days or bad numbers, but these are the numbers that you really need to be cautious on those days. And if you don't have to do anything serious or major, don't do them on those days.
Okay.
And for you, that would be the 6, the 8, and the 3,
Okay.
or on a Friday, Saturday, on January, May, or October.
Wow. January, May, October. Okay.
Yes. And it also says, it talks about your business character overviews. It says that your business carries multiple vibrational layers, but the core essence is split between empathy driven service and practical structured execution. And it's
Mm.
kind of hard for me to see these words. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Okay.
yeah, so this right here is telling the overview of what your business is about. It says that in the earlier stages of your business, it may feel like it's a balancing act, like you're trying to meet both like you're trying to meet both needs of your audience and your financial goals, and your brand has a mission, and your mission comes from your business mission or life path as we would know it for ourselves. So when you add the month, the day, and the year that your business was incorporated, you get the life path, or the business mission is what I call it. And the business mission tells you exactly what you are here to do using that business. And
Okay.
so this says that at its core, your business exists to serve humanity on a higher level. And I
Mm.
thought that was interesting, even just listening to your story in the hospital,
Yeah.
you um, wanting to share your lyrics with some of the nurses and doctors in there, that was like trying to put some happiness into them, even though you were in the state that you were in. So
Yeah.
that is saying that that is really what your business is about, or what the brand of E-Complete is about. It says the brand is emotionally intelligent, compassionate, and is likely drawn to cause that uplift, heal, or inspire. It says it also suggests that your business thrives when it's engaged in philanthropy, education, or purpose driven offerings. So when you're teaching somebody something through the rhymes,
Yeah.
or your
And that's exactly who I am. That's so funny. And
yeah,
being the Life Path 9, that's the intention. Like, to me, I never, even when I first started writing rhymes, Kimberly, I never wanted to write materialistic or chauvinistic lyrics, anything about, killing other brothers on the microphone. And, I realized back in the days that I probably could have got a record deal if I chose a different path to rhyme, kind of like all metaphors and all slick talk and braggadocious and stuff like that. But I always felt being inspired from Karis One and Rakim and more intelligent lyricists and Chuck D from Public Enemy, that I always had a cause and a mission that I wanted to inspire and educate. So this is exactly like really powerful, because this is explaining me to a T.
and that's the energy that I get when I listen to your music.
Thank you.
It's basically inspiring other people. You can clearly see it. And one thing that you should understand too, what I get from it is you are the 1 and 4. And we know, well, the number 4 is ruled by Aquarius, and Aquarius talks about being different.
Yeah.
So when we talk about a hip hop artist being different, And this time, it's a hip hop artist that is not talking about those things, killing people or violence or drugs
drugs.
or
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that is different. It's unique. And then it screams humanitarian,
Yeah.
so.
Ah,
And it says the nine frequency often brings lessons of unconditional giving, sometimes with little immediate return. In early phases, your business may feel underappreciated or misaligned with financial expectations, but this is a part of your journey. As the brand matures, it will find fulfillment and impact, not just income. So it's just like you're getting not just income. It's more than the income. It's a higher purpose,
yeah.
a higher calling. Do you feel like that?
Definitely. I mean, I didn't, like I said, now I hope God told me to tell you winds up being the most lucrative of the 3 albums. But this is my heart. I joke, and I said it in some of my rhymes before, but like Karis One says, I am hip hop. And so, to be honest with you, I plan my last breath being a rhyme. You know what I mean? I rhyme every single day of my life. My wife and kids will tell you I rhyme in the house. I do comedy characters and voices. I'm literally a walking concert, Kimberly. I'm kind of a lot of fun.
I've kind of noticed that about you too.
Well,
You do
you know what
rhyme
it
a
is?
lot.
I love to make other people smile, but not just smile. I want to make you think. You know what I mean? I really want people to awaken and think. And I am a true humanitarian. And it's funny. I don't have any Aquarius energy, but I got an 11th house stellium that is definitely all, that has got that Aquarius feel to it. And it's all Virgo, being a Scorpio rising. So yes, and the sun in the 11th house does make you a humanitarian. And that I'm
But
guilty. I'm
that
guilty of that.
that 1-4 gives you Aquarian energy,
Mm,
because you have you have the planets, but also you have to think about those planets that are ruling your numbers, your birth.
yes. Yeah.
So you have the 1 and the 4, and that 4 is ruled by Aquarius. So that Aquarius energy is there. Just like that 9, that's the Mars energy there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
big.
so the strategic advice is for you to anchor your offerings in purpose and value, not just profit.
Okay.
Position your brand as transformational or mission based. Engage in social impact, giving back, or cause marketing initiatives.
Wow. That's so true, because when I worked in the Bronx with the multiply severely disabled children, the guy who actually produced this track was one of my former students. Right? His name is Edwin, and eventually I'm going to get him on the podcast. He does musical production, and he's completely blind. And I took him and a bunch of my other students to the hip hop studio with my producer Fred Ones, the TME studios in the Bronx, and we were able to make some music. And then I helped him connect, so he learned how to produce, and that was just my heart. You know what I mean? And I scheduled it, arranged it at the school with my principal, and I can tell you, a lot of the parents, I made CDs for the parents. And I mean, I even had nonverbal kids, Kimberly, go up in the studio and just like go bloop, bloop, make sounds. Some just singing. Everyone was rapping. Other people were just making a little sound, whatever they could do. And I had mothers come up to me, hug me, and cry, because they
Wow.
were like, wow, my kid, was a part of making a song and expressing themselves creatively. And it just lit them up. And I was like, you're well. They were like, thank you, thank you. I was like, you're welcome. I was like, your kids are amazing. Just because they are special needs, they're still amazing. So that was that's just a little glimpse to like my heart.
That's a part of your mission.
Yeah.
That's a part of your mission. And think about it, this is like a double dose for you, not just for your business, but this is your life.
Yeah, no, you're
Your
right.
numbers,
Yeah.
you know. So I went through this. I feel like I jumped in kind of fast with this when I went into this document. But I wanted to ask, do you have any questions? Are you lost in any way? Or is there
No,
something
no, it makes sense. The only thing I would ask about is the 5. Is that very mercurial or more Leo based? I always get confused with the 5.
okay, so what happens is your numbers are the 1, the 4, and the 5.
Yeah.
All three of those, 5 is ruled by Mercury.
Okay, I was right.
All
Mercury.
three of those all three of those numbers are important to you, but the number 1 comes first. That's your first number.
Okay.
That's your Leo energy. Don't forget that. You know, I'm not going to let you forget that Leo energy.
Yeah, well,
The
listen, that's
number
my 10th house, and I'm definitely, very creative and kind of bold. I think sometimes a little bit of the Virgo energy can make me a little bit more reserved, but obviously, I mean, look, I've got this podcast, I've done these albums, I was an actor, I'm in the Screen Actors Guild and Actors Equity, I was at the New York Times, so clearly that Leo energy does show.
Yeah. Yeah, that energy, that Leo energy is there. And the 4 could be slowing it down too. That's your second energy, but the 4 is a more calming energy.
Okay.
Because Uranus is the modern day ruler, but it's also co-ruled by Capricorn.
Right. Okay.
I mean Saturn. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Yeah.
Also co-ruled by Saturn. So that could be slowing it down a little bit too. And then the 5, that's you may experience and experience changes, frequent changes and things like that. 5 is also good for promotion, communication, and it's ruled by Mercury. So
Yeah, I got a very mercurial mind with my Virgo and Mercury. So yeah, I'm
yeah.
very mercurial person. I can't get away from that.
Okay, let's see what's on the next slide. Oh, what's in a name? And I want to say almost everything is in a name. We talked about this earlier. As we see on the photo here, it says E complete. And complete is spelled the correct way here. But the spelling of your name tells you a lot, or the spelling of the name of the business tells you a lot. I'm going to let you know some of those things that your name or the name of your business can tell you about the business, or can do for the business.
Right.
The name will tell us who we will attract. And in business terms, that's going to be who our target audience is.
Okay.
And so for this, I used E complete the first time, but E complete added to an 8. If we go back to your unfavorable numbers, one of your unfavorable numbers is an 8.
Oh no.
So
I made a boo-boo, you're saying.
yeah, so the name can be changed, but the birthday can't be changed. No matter what you want to do,
That's right.
Eric cannot change that date.
So you came up with a brilliant idea. Tell them what you suggested that I do, right?
Alter the spelling. Alter the spelling in a way that the name sounds exactly the same, but the spelling may just be a little different. So the spelling that we went with here is adding an extra E onto E complete. And when we add that extra E, the name totals a 4, which is one of your favorable numbers. And 4 is interchangeable with the number 1. those two numbers are together at all times, the 1 and the 4. Whenever you see the 1, you see the 4.
So that should make a huge difference with this upcoming third album then, huh?
It should make a difference. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I feel a little like weird doing it, but the fact that you're right. It still is going to sound and be spelled an E complete, but just an extra E. It's like very still authentic to me, and it's just a minor numeric adjustment. So it's actually perfect.
Yeah, and I thought of all different things, but that's the only way I could think of how that.
No, thank you. That's perfect.
You're welcome. And so the name tells us our target audience, because when we get the name, okay, I said the name equals a 4-1 now with the extra E. So that means your target audience is going to be Aquarius first, or Leo. And what this means is they don't necessarily have to be an Aquarius. They don't necessarily have to be a Leo, but they could be in the mindset of an Aquarius or Leo, or they could think like an Aquarius or Leo.
So people that are creative, heart-focused, authentic, and about freedom and liberation, those are the people who will rock with me?
Yep. Or people, it can be very literal. It can be Leos, or it can be Aquarius, or it could be people that are born on the 1st, the 10th, the 19th, the 28th of the month, or it could be people that are born on the 4th, the 13th, the 22nd, or the 31st of the month. Cool. So, but that those are the personalities and the type of people that you will attract. It'll tell you their personality, what colors will attract them. Ooh. And that's important when it comes to their marketing.
Okay.
It will even tell you what fonts and sizes to use in those fonts and sizes. It tells you the best product and services to offer these people, how to appeal to them, symbols to use, marketing tips, and so much more.
Well, I'll tell you this, Kimberly. Having you, the Leo, and then Lloyd, the Aquarius, in my corner, I can't go wrong.
We got you. We got you. Incomplete. We got you. So we're going to get into an example of, I don't know, can you see this?
Yeah, what do we got here?
Big. Okay, so this is the brand board that comes along with it. All of that stuff that I just talked about. Now, we could go with the 4 or the 1. I decided to go with the Leo, the number 1. So these are the colors for E-Complete. This is a palette, and this is what I do when people order brand service.
This is brilliant. Do you guys see this? You better get this consultation with Miss Kimberly and move forward for your business and your branding. Okay, so what are the main colors here?
Okay, so they're Leo colors.
Yeah.
You got your golds, you got your reds, you got a purple in there, and I think that went nicely with the background that you were in on the album cover. Yeah. And you have your oranges, those bright Leo colors. Okay. It even tells you the fonts. Like for the number 1, you're going to do something like the Arial font or something like that. The suggested sizes for your brand would be, for you, for the number 1, 10, 13, 19, 22, 31, 37, or I think that's 40. And those are some of the sizes of the fonts. But what that really is numbers that add up to a number 1 or a number 4.
Right. And oh my God. Is that intricate? This is amazing, Kimberly.
Thank you.
Wow.
And then you have some symbols and designs that you can use for your brand. And these are just a few things. Like, think about how, I mean, some of it is simple. This is the number one. You see fire, you
Mhm.
know, you see a crown. We know Leo is represented
Oh
with the crown.
yeah.
You see the sun. There's a straight line and there's a circle, because the circle has no end or no beginning.
Mm.
So, and you see the arrow, and there are more, but I just put a few up there.
Yeah.
And so it talks about your target audience. And because you're number one, um, ruled by the sun, you're magnetic. So who do you attract? You attract all types of people, men,
Yeah.
women. And we talked about those born on the number that adds up to a one or a four.
Wow.
And the Leo or Aquarius zodiac sign. And before you get too nervous, everybody, just keep in mind you don't have to be a Leo or an Aquarius to
Right.
follow E complete. You
Okay.
can
All
just
right, you
feel like
guys.
a Leo. You can feel
I
like
want
a
to ask the people
Leo.
in the chat. You guys are gonna support me with my third album. God told me to tell you. Oh,
Yeah,
you're gonna tell us about the title too, right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We're gonna get to that.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it tells the personality type. And this is interesting because we're talking about, this number one. They're confident, charismatic, and bold. And it talks about ideal marketing approach.
Mm.
You want to be bold with these people. It talks about their styles and services, like they like luxury products and brands, but it also says that there's best promotion. Hold on, let me make this a little larger so I can.
And you
Okay.
guys could write in the chat too. I want to ask. I'm curious. What do you guys appreciate intelligent hip hop and more conscious rhymes and lyrics? I'm kind of curious, and because I don't want you guys just to support because you rock with Biggie Astrology. I really also, want you to get into the lyrics, and you don't even have to like hip hop, because one thing that's going to be deep about this album, my intention, I want to bring in different genres of music, and I've done that before. Like I had like a guitar and a rock, like a rock track on my first album, and I like to play with different things, but I'm always going to authentically be me, which kind of rocks with that Leo Aquarius energy, right? Like, it's like authentically showing up from the heart chakra. But yeah, I am. You'll never see me like getting into like some crazy cursing and violent and drug, sex rhymes. Like that's just not me. Will I have a little bit of fun? Of course, because I like to make people smile and laugh, but at the same time still think. So. But you guys can comment in the chat. Would you like to listen to some more conscious, intelligent hip hop and stuff, you guys? All right, go ahead. I'm sorry,
It's
Kimberly.
time for
Let's see what
it.
the people are saying in the chat.
It's time for you want to go to the chat?
Sure. Yeah, we can get back to the
Yeah,
title and
because
stuff, but just to see what people are saying. But I just want to ask that question because I do care that the Biggie Astrology audience would like my music, and I wouldn't want them to get it just because they like my astrology. You know what I mean? Like I really want to connect with people musically, So I'm
see
kind of
that they're
curious.
responding to you. They said, "We see you eat complete." So that's what Chantel said. Empress Ebony said, "Nice." Teresa Miller said, "Awesome freestyle." Eric Gigi put up the fire.
Thank you guys.
He said, "I like that, Biggie. It was dope."
Thank you. Wait. And can I tell you a little story about that? I still remember the day. It was in
Wow.
October, and my buddy Edwin, he sent me the track. And this is no lie, you guys. I heard the track and I went crazy. I immediately went into like my bedroom, and one take, what you heard, mean bars, that's what I spit. I hit record one time, and that's what I spit. And then I, went back in and got the female singer Felicia Taylor, who I did a song with her on her album. She's an amazing vocalist and singer. And I had her like overlay the track, and she heard my verse, and then boom, and that was it. Like I literally, that was just straight from off the top of the head. And but if you really listen to it, how intricate it is. Number one, you may think that I wrote it. Number two, I did this before COVID. It was during Trump's first election, but it was before COVID. And if you really listen, there's some lyrics in there that are kind of almost prophetic. You know what I mean? So it was really kind of cool. And I think that's what really connects me as an MC, that I kind of let like that connection to God flow through me in terms of getting downloads for rhymes. And I did that on my first album as well, with different songs. So it's very humbling, but I feel like I am that creative vessel, and I never run out of ideas and thoughts for creativity.
That's where it comes from. That's why it doesn't stop. Phoenix says, God is in us and all around us.
Amen.
Quintilla said, yes, you did spit fire. Chantel say, okay, the chat is lit.
Yes, you guys. Thank you. You guys are the best. Y'all are making me feel good, because you know what? My heart's heavy. My mother would have been 84 coming up on Monday, the 21st. And she just been on my mind a lot. Yeah. So I need this. This is a little pump Eric up and get me up over the hump, because since she passed away, my birthday, her birthday, and then her date of passing, they when they come up, April 21st, September 21st, and then September 10th, they vibrate a little differently in my head and my heart. So I will be heavy thinking about Mama on Monday, but I think about her every day, and I talk to her every day. So, but thank you guys. You guys are really making me
the best.
Yeah, you guys are making me smile, and I appreciate it.
Chantel said, are they supposed to see us or the slides?
She said what?
Are they supposed to see us or the slide?
Oh, they should be seeing the slides. What are they seeing?
Okay. Stephen said that he's a 33 life path, born on the 7th.
Ooh.
Amanda Lee said born on the 13th equals 13. Last name. Well, 13th, 1 plus 3 equals 4. So that makes you a 4. Oh, she's born on the 12th. So that does make you a 3.
Yeah. 3s are very great communicators, right, Kimberly?
Oh, yeah. And they are creative too.
Oh, yeah.
3 is ruled by Jupiter.
Mm-hmm. And that's so funny, because the Jupiter's education, and my mom was the 21st, and she taught elementary school. Only taught 2nd grade for 2 years, but taught 5th grade for 35 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My mom she was the 21st. She was no joke.
That's what kept her going.
Oh, 0 degrees Taurus. She did not play.
Let's see. Yuko, I don't want to mess it up, says, I love Kimberly. Thank you so much. I love you too.
Yes, yeah.
Quintilla says she would love that double dose. Teresa Miller said kindness and respect for each other. That's what's up. Thank you, Teresa. You don't want to record deal. It's time to create more conscious music industry. Yep, that's
exactly right.
Yeah,
because guess what? I like listening to intelligent stuff and conscious stuff. You know what I mean? So I would surely not create something that's not that. Because I'm also, you know what it is too, Kimberly? I think about legacy. I think about my children, but even my grandchildren. My future granddaughter one day, I want her to be like, "Oh, my pop was positive and was nice."
Yeah, because I look at some things and I'm like, okay, when your child gets older,
Yeah.
what are you gonna tell
Oh my
them?
gosh, some of these people, I know, right?
Yeah.
So okay, so why don't you go back to go back to the slide, and then you were gonna get into the title. God told me to tell you
Okay. Yeah, let's go
another
on to
slide.
the title. But for um you can also just I'm gonna send this to you. So
Mhm.
I want you to check out the best promotion
Oh
strategy and
yes, yes,
promotion ideas here. So you'll have time to look at that.
yeah. This is
Okay.
this is amazing.
Okay. So God told me to tell you that you had to change the spelling, Eric.
I know that's right. And but tell everybody why and break that whole thing down. Yeah, that's interesting.
Okay, so we know that Eric's numbers for his business are the 1, the 4, and the 5. So God told me to tell you, add it up to the 44-8. And it's sad, but it's two fours in there, which I'm like, oh, like, but they equal an 8. You know what? And it happens to all of us.
Hmm.
Because I'm thinking, like, okay, his thing with eights, but fours and eights attract each other.
Mm.
And the reason why I feel like fours and eights attract each other is because of the co-ruler of number 4 is also the ruler of 8, Saturn.
Oh.
So I think that's why there's a connection, but what the deal is with 4 and 8, it's just that with all numbers, you just be cautious.
Okay.
And if you, because I have this is going to sound funny, but I have a lot of 8 friends.
Mm.
Eights gravitate towards me. But it's just that if you feel that there's some tension or something, just step away for a moment and come back.
Okay.
So when you have oppositions, it's not about this is the end of the world or this is horrible. No, you just understand the opposition.
Yeah.
With Saturn, that is living by the rules. But with number 4, being co-ruled by Aquarius, that is, or Uranus, I'm going to do what I want to do. I like my freedom, so it's just about knowing these two things and being able to balance that out. And when you can balance it out, it should be no problem. And a lot of people get along that way because they know each other. And that's the importance of knowing numerology
And it
and
makes so much sense. I'll just tell you, right? Because I don't know how the 1 and 3 get along, but Alana is the 3 and I'm the 1. But then that my 4, she's also, I guess the 26 gives her the 8. But we are opposite, right? Scorpio, Taurus rising, Pisces, Virgo. So in our case, the opposites really attract. But when
Mhm.
you said the Saturn, I laughed because where I was born in New York was a Saturn line, so I guess there's some deep connection with me and Saturn that I guess, I have to acknowledge. I don't fear Saturn. I find that when I am more disciplined, structured, and organized, I actually do better. So that makes a lot of sense.
That's your Virgo too, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Okay. So what changes are you recommending for God told me
oh,
to tell you?
okay, for God told me to tell you, instead of putting the whole U, YOU,
Uh-huh.
we're just gonna use the letter U.
Yeah. Which is, I think, almost more powerful. And it makes sense also because in hip hop, a lot of times, right, they change the spelling and use a lot of slang. So initially, it's so funny. I didn't tell this to you before, but initially I was thinking of just the U. But when I wrote it out, I did the YOU, not knowing the numerology. But my first thought was just to do, God told me to tell you, just the big U, you know? So the fact that you came up to that, came with that for me, it really resonates in terms of what I was originally thinking, but I went against my own intuition.
And as you can see there, it equals 73. It equals 7 plus 3 equals 10. And
Yeah.
so that reduces down to a 1,
Wow.
which
That's
10
really me. Yeah,
is
that's
your birthday number.
wow.
So that's perfect. That's right on time.
Okay.
Okay. Your intro inflow, 4 plus 9 equals 4. 4 is one of your key numbers. That's a good look.
Okay.
Cheryl's son. I got nervous here because I said I can't touch this one. I can't touch this one. But the 3 plus 9 equals 12. And remember, I said that in a minor way, that 3 could be a little oppositional to you. So I looked at it like this, and this makes perfect sense to me. Instead of Cheryl's son, SON, what about her son, SUN? Because ruled by the number 1, you are the son. And if
Mm.
you do that, the 3 plus 8 equals 11. And that's,
Whoa,
yeah,
that's kind of deep. Play on words too. I like that.
yeah, and that's a number 11, which is it
And you
goes
guys,
with,
this is the tentative song list. I may add or take away, but I just want to give Kimbaley something like as a platform to play with. So that's really interesting. Wow, thank you.
you're welcome. Brainwashing. I couldn't find a way to do well. I thought of a way, but I said I'm gonna let him do that.
Right.
But
Tell me.
3 plus 5 equals 8. I told you that 8 follows you.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So why do you think that could be though? Because of the 4?
I think that's what it is.
Okay.
Because of Saturn. I think that
Yeah.
there's a connection there between the 8 and 3. So um and then too, when we say opposition, I think about the
What
opposition as just being the mirror.
I wonder if I did brainwashed.
I tried brainwash. Brainwash still added to an 8.
Oh my gosh. Okay. We'll
But I
figure
thought
something out.
about brainwashing without the G on it, but I don't know. I didn't add that one.
Oh, brainwashing. Yeah, like brainwashing.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
God told me to tell you
Yeah.
7 plus 3. We already did that. That's the
Yeah.
10 one. Tell a tribe. 3 plus 2 is 5. Your 5 finally shows up.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah. Virgo is 1 plus 9, 10, 1. So that's good. Be careful remix. The 5 plus 2 equals 7. I wouldn't change that.
Oh, that's
And
okay. Be careful remix. That's okay.
yeah, because you have the interchangeable numbers, the 1 and the 4,
Okay.
and they are favorable with the interchangeable numbers of the 2 and the 7.
Mm.
Okay, so it won't be the most favorable number for you. It'll be neutral.
Okay,
Let's
because
say,
I was gonna say I also could do be careful part 2, like PT2. So it was just a thought.
that's a good idea. Um, as above, so within. I couldn't find anything with that, but that's a 5 plus 7, 12.
Okay, so a 3.
Yeah, that's a 3. Mean bars. Yeah, that equal up to a 5.
Oh,
Yeah,
good. That's the
I
one that we
figured it
just
would.
played. Yep.
Yep. Money is a 22. Master number 22 and breaks down to a 4, which is your second number.
Okay. Yeah, I already got that track too. That's gonna be a good song. I'm gonna get deep on that one, y'all. Money.
I thought about when I looked at number 11, I said, oh, he was playing in this. 2, 21, 11, that equals 5. Let's say, yeah, he knew what he was doing right here. Spiritual warfare, 5 plus 4 equals 9. It's not an opposition, so I wouldn't touch it if it's up to you.
Okay.
It's up to you. Tailor-made love. So that equaled the 8. But I thought about instead of you, I told you with the 8s, instead of using tailor-made love, LOVE, you could use
LUV.
LUV and get 4 plus 7, which will give you a master number 11.
And that's okay for me. 11, master number.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's one of the interchangeable numbers.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so what we just did is we just went through the potential album names. And what I want to say is not only do you make sure that the business name is aligned with the incorporation date or conception date of the business, everything that you label, such as the books you write, as we can see here, each song he wrote, everything that you put out into the public or whatever, make sure that you check the numerology on it so you're not releasing anything that's oppositional to you, and make sure that you're using a date that aligns with your birthday and your name.
Wow, this is incredible. But you guys, Kimberly is brilliant. This is like, all right, so now I can bring back up our wonderful faces. Or you have something else you want to show?
Oh, I was just going to show this flyer just to let people know what I do. I can help you align your business with success. So one of the things that I do is I do business Astro-Numerology reports. This is actually what got me started. You can get a personal report for your business, and that's kind of like a preview of what you saw earlier in this video. You can also get a compatibility report. This is for you and any employees or anybody you have working in your business to see if they are compatible to the business and if they're compatible to you. You can also get a business yearly cycle report. This will tell you what you should be doing this entire year or the next 12 months. And it will tell you what the mission is for the year, and it will tell you month by month what you should be doing. You will learn your key numbers, your key days, and everything that I gave Eric today. And you can also take either of these reports and have a consultation with me where I will sit down and go over all of the information with you and help you understand it. I also help people with their mission and brand identity if you want to know what the mission is of your business. I also do target audience profiles like you saw with the palette and the target audience.
Ooh, girl, you are something. You guys, listen, you better be reaching out, get that 30-minute free consultation with Ms. Kimbaley, and boost up your businesses today. This is brilliant, my friend.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love it.
But we can close it out now if you want.
Okay. Wow. You guys like that? Like, see, this is, and what I love, and this is why, because we could have done just, a random business, but the fact that you could do this for, hold on. Let me make sure. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what I gotta do here. But the fact that you could do this for I think I still got to close this out. That you could do this for a musical artist shows that your business structure, you can really do this for anything, huh?
Yeah, because what we have to understand is
Or maybe you have to stop sharing.
Okay.
But that's so incredible. And you guys, think about this, right? Like how much you can learn by, based on your business or your numbers and your birthday, all that you can do. Well, this has got us and it still has that up. I don't know how to get that out of there.
Hold on, maybe I can get rid of it.
Yeah, you may have to.
Yay, I got it.
All right. But that's okay. I'm going to still fix this. But yeah, I mean, that is so intricate, so detailed. And I mean, just explain to the audience like how you came up with the idea to do all of that, like, based on, people's numerology. I find that to be so inspiring and fascinating. Share with everybody like how you came up with not only the business idea, but just the whole way of presenting it for your clients. And share what type of businesses have you already, like, do you work with and do this for? I'm sure like all types, right?
Yeah, pretty much. For the most part, I get a lot of people that are just starting their business. I get some people that are about to start a business. And how this all came about is I started offering business reports at first.
Okay.
Just a little bit of background. My college experiences in marketing and communications.
Wow.
So, and like I said, since a child, I've always been interested in business, and I've been that one that can, sit down with a person and look at their business and be like, oh, you should be doing this. So business has always been like, kind of like my thing. I like to do it for other people. But I started doing reports, and people would come back from the reports, the business reports, and they say, the report was accurate. Can I have a reading? And they would want to sit down and have a reading about it. And just one day, it was just like inspiration came through and was like, you need to be doing this. You need to be doing this as a business. And right away, I just started thinking about it, and it just took me. I made it difficult until I started looking at business as an entity, because we're all energy.
Yeah.
Everything is created of energy.
Amen.
So every building, every space, everything that you do is an entity, it's energy. Yeah. And so all of these places, people, places, and things are attached to numbers as well. So we have to pay attention to those numbers.
Gosh, Kimberly, this was truly amazing. We're going to get back to the chat in a second, but I want to point out too, part of your brilliance in doing this, being the Scorpio rising, it is being the sixth house of work and service to humanity. You initiate being this pioneer maverick to help people with the numerology to uplift, boost, and align their businesses with the esoteric and occult sciences. And so, you are really working, my friend, that Aries sixth house, and just, kudos to you, because like you said, you're an astro-numerologist. And so your chart also happens to, I'm not saying that if you were like a Libra or a Pisces or Capricorn rising, you couldn't do the same thing. But you guys, Scorpio risings, this lines up perfect for what you do and all that you do with the collective, especially that Leo sun and moon and the Leo planets in the 10th house and you know, having that energy. So kudos to you, because like, do you feel that, like, you know, that Aries 6th house, right? Like, it's work, it's your daily routine, but it's your service to humanity. And having the Aries there, a lot of Scorpio risings, you guys, they don't really want to work for somebody else. A lot of them want to have their own jobs, right? Leo 10th house, the Virgo 11th, and Aries in the 6th. They're very much, you know, people who are brave and courageous and can initiate and lead in the entrepreneurship, you know. So I think that that's really speaks to how you are, you know, manifesting and creating your reality through your own natal birth chart, along with your numerology as well, my friend.
Thank you. I just want everybody to win.
I
I
know.
mean, what does it take to get that? I want everybody to win. I don't care who it is. I just want to see everybody on top.
Well, listen, people are definitely going to be winning if they're, you know, connecting with you. So again, give everybody your website. You guys, it's linked down below, her YouTube. Please follow Miss Kimbaley on YouTube. And remember, it's Kimbaley. Okay. I like the unique spelling of that. It always throws me off though, because honestly, it's so different that it does throw me off, but it's beautiful. And yeah, and I just love your Leo energy. So share that information, and then we can close off with a couple more comments or questions in the chat.
You can find me at Kimbaley, KIMBALEY.com. You can go there and check out the business Astro-Numerology services and charts that are offered. And you will see social media, free social media consult is like 30-45 minutes. And it's at no cost to you, and that's for you to come to find out, you know, what can astronumerology do for your business. And you can ask a couple questions to see where you what services or what you may need in your business at this time. And I'll get another link set up for that so that it says Astro-Numerology for business. But you can visit me on Kimbaley_ on YouTube.
Okay. Yeah. And yeah, she's a great follow on YouTube, you guys. She does amazing monthly reports with Lloyd Strayhorn that I love. Like, you guys, that Aquarius Leo energy together is magic. And you know what I mean? And even Lloyd was like, yeah, like me and Kimbaley, we just work so great together. And it's that Leo Aquarius. You know, it's one of the best oppositions, because both of you being fixed fire and fixed air, it's like so just two people really being authentic, right, in presenting information and knowledge. And so I love that you guys have been doing this for like 2 years now.
Yeah, 2 years.
And where can we find your monthly reports, you and Lloyd?
You can find them on YouTube at Kimbaley_ KIMBALEY_.
Okay, great. Yeah. No, I love.
He also has a free newsletter where he takes everything in the monthly report and he sends it out every month by zodiac sign or forecast in his newsletter. So you can get one of those on his site.
Yeah. Lloyd is the best. And yeah, make sure you guys always follow Numbers and You, because you know Lloyd is he's real special in my heart, you know what I mean? And I know Kimbaley as well. So let's read a couple more comments and any, you know, last questions for Kimbaley. But I just want to thank you. This has been not only so informative for me personally, but I would say I know it was really informative for the audience, because it's a little twist, not traditional business, right? It's a musical artist, but yet and still it was so just full of meat and knowledge and information. And I think what's even powerful is that you can do this for people if they have not launched their business yet. So if you guys are on the precipice and you're ready to start, you know, reach out and connect with Kimbaley. and do that and, get this full report. It's amazing. Now I do the business birth charts. It's a little bit different, but, if you connected with me and Kimberly, you would be like, out the sky, out the universe in terms of having, especially if you're doing any business, but spiritually branded business. Wow. So let's go to the chat and Kimberly, you're gifted, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you. The Mama Mist
Hey,
says,
Mama
I'm a
Miss.
life path 9 and Aquarius. She says the reading rings some bells for her too.
Okay.
Mama Miss also says, so beautiful you touching lives like that, E.
Oh,
It
thank
is.
you. Yeah.
Amanda Lee says, I love numerology. I just realized my name, Amanda, has 3 A's.
That's
Leo
right.
energy. You got it. Like I was
And
saying,
welcome, Amanda. Make sure you
your
subscribe to the
energy.
channel. I think Amanda's new, so welcome, Amanda.
Hi, Amanda. Katie Fox said she's back. She had to step away.
Okay, welcome back, Katie. We're still here.
Mama Miss said, I'm an intellectual lyricist, so I'm here for it.
Yes,
It's
yes, and I appreciate
fabulous.
that. And that's what the world needs though, right?
Mhm.
Because you have to really understand you rhyme for a reason, and I explained to everybody being an MC, a master of ceremonies, growing up in New York City, Kimberly, rhyming wasn't for everybody. You had to be, someone that could, rock and move the crowd and really be the master of ceremony. And you had to really say something creative and slick, but powerful to make you stand out. A lot of these people that are out today, no shade on them, but, nobody would pass them the mic back in old school days, or people would take the mic away from them if they were coming up with this buffoonery, coonery stuff. You know what I mean? Where you can't even understand a word that's coming out their mouth. That wouldn't fly when I was growing up.
You know what gets me, and maybe I shouldn't say this
You
completely.
can say it. You can say it on my channel.
When I'm listening to the radio
Oh God.
and I hear my favorite jam from back in the day,
Uh huh.
and I listen to it for a moment and find out somebody has remade it. I'm like,
Oh, I know.
it
I know.
wasn't broke. Why did you have to try to fix it?
Yeah, no, that's true. That happens a lot.
Yeah.
That happens a lot with a lot of different songs. So, any last comments or questions in the chat before we go? I've kept Kimberly forever, but I thank you because what you shared, your gifts and skills with the audience, I know people are going to reach out to you because this is transformative, you guys. And this woman is just, she's powerful, you know what I mean? And you want a Scorpio rising helping you with your business or with anything that's transformative because that's just what we do.
Empress Ebony's Tarot, I want to say condolences to you. Her grandmother passed on Saturday, so I'm
Oh,
sorry to hear
I'm
that.
so sorry.
Um,
R.I.P. Grandma. And you know what? Don't stop honoring her and talking to her. She's still right here, just in another dimension and frequency. So love on her, celebrate her, and talk to her because she's listening, and it will make you feel good too. Okay.
and Amanda Lee, same to you. She said her father passed away April 21st.
On my mom's birthday. Wow, Amanda, that's deep. Mm.
Gigi says, thanks, that was great. Teresa Miller says, many thanks, Eric, for inviting Miss Kimberly to be on your show tonight. Thank you,
Yeah,
Teresa. And yes, thank you, Eric.
yes.
And Quintella says, awesome podcast as always.
Hey, knowledge is love astrology podcast. I named it like that for a reason, right? And this woman just shared her knowledge and her love. That's what it's about.
This one says, hold on. So if my key numbers are the 2, 7, and 6, I should base names off those numbers mainly. If you have not named your business yet, it would be a great idea to try to base your it would be a good idea to try to align your name with your birthday number if you are doing a personal brand, if you have a personal brand. But if you have a business that you are actually creating that
Hmm.
is going to be the brand, make sure, because this is important, when you get your business incorporated, you can say, I want my business to be incorporated on the 22nd. And you can send the paperwork off, and they're not thinking about what you said you wanted to be done on the 22nd. What they're going to do is they're going to process it when they can
Well,
get
that's
to
why I think it's important to, because you can register, right? We did it, wifey and I, for our Sabale Pure and for Biggie Astrology. We made sure we did it, and you can file the paperwork online for the LLC. So you can really do it at the date and the time, right? I helped wifey do that with Sabale Pure, right, at the right time because I brought up the chart. So yeah, no, you can
Yeah, so if you
you
can
can have
do it at
control
the
over it.
right
Yeah.
time, yeah, if you can do it at the right time, then do it. But if you're kind of guessing about the time, make sure you just align it with your numbers. And
Yeah.
another thing that I add in these charts, and I didn't include it in eComplete's chart, is I look at your numbers as compared to the business numbers, and
Mhm.
I say what numbers are best for you and the business together.
Okay.
Like you may have your key numbers, your business may have its key numbers, but what numbers do you all have in common that you can
Ah,
come together and make big decisions on?
I love that. I love that. Because
Oh,
you gotta wear a different hat when you're an entrepreneur, right? It's like I'm Eric Taylor, but I'm a different person from Biggie Astrology or even E Complete. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I mean, it's all one and the same, but you still got to treat it a little differently. And you're right about that. That's really powerful.
And
Well,
Amanda Lee said she's not new, just commenting for the first time.
oh,
Congratulations,
well,
Amanda Lee.
thank you very much, Mr. Manda Lee. I appreciate that. And make sure if you can come back next Thursday, because I'll have time and you can, I'll be on 3 p.m. Eastern next Thursday on the 24th. And then you can come and share your big three. And I like to give you a free reading of the big three and all that, a big three and all that good stuff. So I appreciate you. And I'm so glad you commented tonight. Thank you, my friend. So, Kimberly, enjoy the rest of your Good Friday, everybody. Easter Sunday, as I like to call it Resurrection Sunday. And make sure you guys return Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, for episode 329. I'll be live with Miss Megan McPherson. And she's the Millionaire Mindset Coach. Yes, God, wellness. And another amazing, beautiful sister, Sagittarius, Taurus rising, who's really just on it. So you don't want to miss it. And she deals with a lot of stuff with women's health, right, as well. So this is going to be fun. Kimberly, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And you know what? You know you're not going to be a stranger. So you're definitely welcome to come back. And I think maybe next time we'll I don't know, we'll figure out another cool business to do, and like a whole nother, fun thing, maybe something, completely different from an artist and maybe an entrepreneur, and maybe somebody in the audience would want to, volunteer to do something like this with their business, or maybe even Sabale Pure. We'd have to ask her. But brilliant, my friend. Just thank you to the from here to the moon. And yeah, any last messages from you for the collective?
No, I just want to say to everybody that, oh, well, I'll give you a few tips for your business. If you're thinking about creating a business, make sure that you keep a journal. Make sure that you're writing down your key dates. like the date that an idea pops up in your head about a business, because that can be important. It can be your conception date. And what I like to call that is the date of intention. Not only can you just create, not only can you create an date of intention that way, another way you can do it, because what intention is taking action to what you want. So the first time you create a Gmail account for that business, that's a date that you can write down, because a lot of people have trouble keeping up with what date did I start, or
That's right. You want
so
to
that's
put in a
important
little journal, write
for
down
that.
important information.
Make sure that you know your personal numerology first, and then make sure that you know your business numerology. Check with somebody, as like myself, that can help you with your business numerology, so that you can know what frequencies your business is operating on and know how to align with that.
Perfect advice. Amazing tip.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Miss Kimberly. Just thank you. This was great. All right, you guys. Thank you for watching. Do me a favor, hit like, subscribe, but share this, and do me a favor. Help this show grow an algorithm. Not only share this with friends and family, even post it on your your X, your Facebook, whatever, but come back in about 33 seconds and master number, right? And leave a comment in the comment section. That is different from the chat, and it actually helps the show grow in the algorithms. All right. And everyone needs to learn about this powerful information that Miss Kimberly shared. And go to her website, Kimberly.com, and definitely book a consultation. I can tell you right now, you will not regret it, because this woman, she brings the truth, and she brings the numbers. Thank you, my friend. This was awesome.
You're welcome. Thank you. Such an honor to be here. Thanks everyone for coming out.
All right. Bye, you guys. Episode 328 of my Knowledge is Love Astrology podcast with Miss Kimberly, Astro-Numerologist, Manifest on Purpose, and just brilliant. So, bye, you guys.
Thank you.
All right.